Chasing Magic Daily. I'm Lindsay and I go to Disneyland pretty often with my 3 little kids, and today I'm sharing with you my top 5 tips to going to the parks with toddlers. So if you're going on a trip soon to the Disneyland Resort with little kids, you're going to want to watch this video so you can be fully prepared, maximize your time in the parks, and have the most magical time ever. So here we go. Okay, my first tip is to take advantage of the baby care centers. Now, both Disneyland and Disney California Adventure Park have a baby care center. At Disneyland, it's located behind Plaza Point, the little holiday shop there on Main Street. And in DCA, it's located right next to Ghirardelli's Chocolate Factory. And the baby care centers are great if you're going with a baby or a toddler. There's all kinds of things inside to help make your trip a little bit easier. So they have really great changing tables with changing pads. It's very clean. They actually have little tiny toddler potties. So if you're potty training, you need a smaller potty. They have those available in the baby care centers. There are private rooms for breastfeeding and pumping. There's high chairs to feed your baby or your toddler in. There's microwaves, there's bottle warmers. It is a great center to do all the things you need to do to take care of your baby while you're on your trip. Also, in the one in Disneyland, and I'm actually not sure about DCA, I don't know if they have it or not, but in Disneyland, they actually have a vending machine where you can get some baby food, some diapers, some wipes, things like that. So in case you forgot anything, they have those things available for you. Okay, tip number 2 is to take advantage of something called Rider Switch. Now, Rider Switch is a great offering from the Disneyland Resort that benefits adults who go with little kids or little ones who don't meet the minimum height requirement for some of the bigger rides. So here's how it works. Let's say I'm there with my husband and we have a baby with us and we want to go on Big Thunder Mountain. We both want to go on it. So what we can do is we can walk up to the cast member at the front of the line and let them know we want to do Rider Switch because we have a baby with us who can't ride Big Thunder Mountain. So the cast member will then scan our cards or our tickets or our passes on the Disneyland app. And what'll happen is I'll let my husband go first. He stands in the regular queue. So he waits for the ride, he goes on the ride, and when he comes off, my pass is linked with something that a ticket basically that allows me to go through the lightning lane so that I don't have to wait in the line as well. So we're not double waiting for rides. We're just waiting once, and then the second person gets to hop in line with the lightning lane people while the other partner or my husband waits with the baby. So that's how Rider Switch works. It's offered for most rides that have a minimum height requirement. It's great. It kind of saves you time and allows you both to enjoy the ride without having to double wait for it. So take advantage of Rider Switch. Okay, tip number 3 is to get some wiggles out. So now there are places that are great at the Disneyland Resort to let your kids get some wiggles out, run around a little bit, explore, and just kind of be free to be a kid. So those 3 places are the brand new reimagined Toontown, which is incredible. Toontown, we have Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer's Island, which is also at Disneyland. And then over at Disney California Adventure Park, we have the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. Now, I'll start with Toontown because it is currently one of our favorites. It is brand new. They just reimagined it, and there are slides. There's Goofy's Playhouse is all reimagined into this big area where you can play with all these balls and hit buttons, and super exciting. My 2.5-year-old loves Goofy's house. There's just so much to do. It has not opened yet as of right now, but there is going to be a splash pad area over at Donald Duck's boat there. That's going to be super popular. I'm really excited for that to open. But it's just a great place for kids to just be able to run around and play, which when you're at the Disneyland Resort and you're waiting in lines for rides and foods and all kinds of things, it's nice for them to have a chunk of time where they can just go play and be free. So Toontown's my favorite option. And then over at Disneyland, you also have Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer's Island. Now, this one is fun because you get to ride a little raft over to the island. This island is the one that's right across from like Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion. There you'll see it over. It's where Fantasmic plays. But this island is great. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of places to run around. You'll find a big pirate's treasure that you can kind of look around and explore. There's a lot to do. I will say, I went over there once and I was pregnant and it is very hilly. There's a lot of hills. So if you are not like ready to get your workout in, then maybe choose a different one of the play areas. But if you're ready to go, you're ready to explore and have some fun, Pirate's Lair is a great option for that. Okay, and then the third one that I mentioned is over at California Adventure Park, and that is the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. So this is a wonderful spot, especially if your kids are a little bit older. I know we're talking about toddlers here, but This spot is great. There's actually a little like tire zip line. There's a little rock climbing wall. But even if your kids are smaller, they're toddlers, there's still little slides that they can go down. There's a little cave for them to explore. And again, just kind of space for them to just kind of run around and move around and just get some wiggles out. So that one is a great option too, to just let your kids be free a little bit and take a break from all the waiting around in lines in the park. Okay, now my fourth tip, this is a fun one if you want your little one to see a lot of characters, or even get like those special moments where you've seen people like their child gets to hold Mickey's hand and walk to their spot where they're going to take pictures and whatever it is. Okay, so over on Main Street, I'm going to show you right here. Over on Main Street, you're going to see this door. It says Welcome Friends. And right off to the right of it is this double swinging door. This door is where the characters that are visible on Main Street that are walking around and hanging out with guests, this is where they come in and out. So my top secret is to wait over by this door. And then when the characters come out, your little ones can greet them. And oftentimes, if they're one of the first ones, they'll be the ones that the characters grab their hands and kind of walk with them a little bit. And you get these really special moments with the characters. So if you're going with little ones and they really are just dying to meet Mickey and Minnie or Goofy or Donald, whoever it is, hang out by this door because you'll get some really special moments just kind of waiting there for the characters. Okay, and my fifth and final tip for going to the Disneyland Resort with toddlers is to do something called rope drop, or be there when the park opens. Or actually, you're going to be there before the park opens, but you will be inside the park when the park opens. This is when the crowds are the lowest. It is great, especially if you rope drop and go to Fantasyland. Those lines are going to be super short and you can get a lot of rides done in a little amount of time. And Fantasyland is great, obviously, for little kids because none of the rides have height requirements. So babies, toddlers, they can all go on all these rides. And that is why during the day, Fantasyland tends to be very crowded, because it is very popular for parents with little kids. But if you can go first thing in the morning, you will get to do a lot. And then building off of that, if you actually stay at one of the Disneyland Resort hotels, which is the Disneyland Hotel, the Grand Californian, or Paradise Pier, which is quickly becoming Pixar Pier Hotel, I think it is. If you stay, you actually have this perk, this benefit called early entry, and you get to get into the park 30 minutes before anybody else does. And that, I've actually done that. I did that back when it first came about after COVID, after the parks reopened and they started offering it again. I went and I did that, and I actually did every single ride in Fantasyland in 1 hour, including It's a Small World. So if you're staying on property and you take advantage of that early entry, you will get your little one, your toddler, your baby onto all of these rides before the crowds start coming in. So that's something you definitely want to take advantage of too if you are staying on property. And that's it. Those are my top 5 tips to going to the Disneyland Resort with toddlers and babies and just little kids in general. And I hope that you take advantage of these tips and you use them, and it helps make your trip a little bit more magical, and it helps maximize your time and just have a little bit more fun. I will link some more of my videos down below, but if you enjoyed that, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next video.